Every great idea dies the same way, not through failure, not through lack of faith, but through careless talk. The greatest men of history, Edison, Ford, Carnegie, Rockefeller, all obeyed a silent law. Guard your plans until they are strong enough to stand alone. For words are power, and power, when exposed too soon, is stolen, doubted, or destroyed by the weak minds that cannot understand it. You may think you are sharing, but in truth you may be scattering. You may believe you are being open, when in reality you are bleeding energy through every conversation. Few men ever realize how many of their dreams have been buried not by the enemy without, but by the friend within, the friend who could not keep his own mouth shut. The moment you speak of your goal to one who does not believe, you invite their fear into your faith, and fear is contagious. It poisons desire faster than failure ever could. I tell you this as law. Every time you talk idly of your plans, your mind believes you have already acted, and so it relaxes. You lose the burning desire that compels action. You trade fire for comfort, decisiveness for approval, faith for opinion. If you have ever wondered why your best ideas fade before they are born, this may be the reason. You have scattered your purpose to those unworthy to carry it. But I do not speak here against all sharing. There is a sacred kind of sharing, the kind practiced within a mastermind, where every word multiplies power instead of leaking it, where faith is fed, not questioned, where men speak not to impress, but to align. That is what you must learn to discern. And that is what I will show you before this lesson ends. You see, there is a difference between expression and exposure. The man of power expresses his thought to those who can strengthen it. The man of weakness exposes his thought to those who will wound it. One builds momentum, the other loses it. In the next few moments, I will show you the signs that reveal whether you have been protecting your purpose or poisoning it. But before we arrive there, you must understand why this principle is sacred. Every great plan begins in the realm of thought. It is fragile there and invisible, unproven, still forming. To the untrained ear, it sounds like fantasy. To the doubter, it sounds like arrogance. To the small mind, it sounds impossible. But to those who walk by faith, it is law in its earliest form, a decree issued to the universe, waiting only for your persistence to bring it forth. When you speak that law to unbelief, it weakens. When you repeat it to the wrong audience, it dissolves. When you brag of what you will do, your subconscious believes you have already done it. And so the desire cools, the hunger fades, the energy vanishes. This is why the majority live and die full of unfinished plans. They have spent their power in conversation instead of creation. They talk when they should act. They boast when they should build. They announce when they should observe. And yet there is a higher law. There is a place where words multiply faith instead of draining it, a place called the mastermind. Here and only here may you speak your dream aloud, for there it is received by minds that believe. In that circle, criticism becomes correction, envy becomes cooperation, and your thought is nourished by the collective intelligence of men moving toward the same horizon. Outside of that circle, silence is gold. Within it, speech is creation. And your task is to know the difference. If you have ever wondered why some men seem to move faster, why their ideas attract allies while yours attract doubters, this is the reason. They speak only where faith can hear. They reveal only what is already built within. Remember this, energy must be directed, not displayed. Every time you seek validation through talk, you rob yourself of victory through action. Every time you explain your plan to those who cannot see, you invite confusion into your conviction. Your vision was not given to them. It was given to you. It is sacred property, not public opinion. Guard it as such. After this lesson, you will possess a rare ability, the ability to analyze your own speech and know whether you are feeding or draining your power. You will learn to feel when a conversation strengthens your purpose and when it dilutes it. You will know when silence is strength and when words are command. Most men never develop that sense. They mistake talk for progress. They believe movement of the tongue equals movement of destiny. But destiny does not answer noise. It answers definiteness. Ask yourself, how many of your goals have you killed with conversation? How many times have you announced your intent, received a compliment, and then never followed through? How many times have you let the judgment of others cause you to abandon an idea that once burned in your soul? The crowd does not destroy the dreamer through malice, but through mediocrity. They will drown your fire in their doubts, not out of hatred, but out of habit. And if you are careless, their disbelief will become your own. Silence is not secrecy, it is protection. Speech is not sharing, it is power, and when used with purpose. When this lesson is finished, you will be able to measure your words as the wealthy measure gold, not by quantity, but by worth. You will see that silence is the shield of the wise, and that the man who guards his plans guards his destiny. I will show you the difference between speech that strengthens and speech that destroys. Between talk that builds empires and talk that buries them. Between the voice of the mastermind and the noise of the multitude. But before we reach that point, promise yourself this, that you will no longer speak idly of your dreams, that you will no longer trade faith for validation, that you will no longer explain to those who cannot understand. The world will know your plan soon enough when it becomes visible through results. Until then, speak little, act much, and remember, a wise man counts his words as a banker counts his gold. Your silence is not weakness, it is strength under command. And after this message, you will know exactly how to use it. The first sign, you speak to be praised, not to be understood. There is a weakness that has ruined more men than failure, more dreams than poverty, more plans than ignorance, the hunger to be praised before one has earned it. Every man is born with the desire to prove his worth, but when that desire is fed by applause before achievement, the fire that should drive him dies in its own smoke. Words of approval are sweet, but they are poison when taken too soon. Every time you speak of what you intend to do, you feed the illusion that you have already done it. The subconscious mind, unable to distinguish between talk and work, relaxes. It believes progress has been made. And so the very act of telling another what you will do becomes the reason you never do it. You have traded the satisfaction of accomplishment for the counterfeit comfort of praise. Talk is counterfeit action. It is the noise of intention without the substance of labor. The man who spends his energy describing his dreams leaves none for their construction. Each word of premature talk drains the reservoir of persistence that could have built an empire in silence. The wise man knows that words are tools, not toys. He uses them sparingly, for he knows their weight. The moment you seek validation for your plans, you divide your energy. Half goes toward creation, the other half toward convincing others. One builds, the other dissipates. The man of purpose does not ask, "What will they think of me?" but rather, "What must I think of myself if I do not act?" Approval is the tax the weak pay to feel strong. Thomas Edison understood this law better than most. When he set out to create the electric light, he did not announce his plan to the world. He told no one how many failures he had met, no one how close he was to success. While others talked of impossibility, he worked in silence. For years, his lab was his world and his secret. He understood that progress made in solitude builds power. Progress spoken too soon builds spectators. Edison's silence was not secrecy, it was protection. He guarded his thought from disbelief, as a gardener shields his seed from frost. He knew that criticism, however small, could cool the heat of conviction. Faith grows in warmth, not in argument. He never sought applause until the work was done, for he knew that early praise weakens the will to persist. There is a spiritual law hidden in this truth. No man can receive the full reward of his labor until he has learned to labor in silence. The fire of desire burns hottest in private. Each time you expose it to the wind of others' opinions, it flickers and fades. Talk is the breeze that cools the flame. Work is the bellows that strengthens it. You may think that sharing your goals will make you accountable. It will not. It will make you dependent. You will begin to work not for the joy of accomplishment, but for the applause of others. You will measure progress by compliments, not completion. And the day praise ceases, so will your effort. The inner satisfaction of creation is far greater than the outer applause of explanation. The man who acts in silence lives in power. The man who seeks praise lives on borrowed energy. Applause cannot build habit. Only discipline can. When you learn to do your work for the sake of the work itself, you become master of your will. Ask yourself, why do I speak of my intentions? Is it to strengthen them or to soothe myself? The truth will reveal your motive. Most men speak not from confidence, but from fear. They hope that approval will replace faith. But faith cannot be borrowed. It must be built through action. The wise man delays speech until speech becomes unnecessary, for his results speak in his place. The desire for validation is a thief disguised as a friend. It flatters the ego while robbing the will. It gives comfort in exchange for progress. The weak man craves to be seen. The strong man craves to be certain. The one talks to prove himself. The other acts to become himself. Do not mistake silence for loneliness. Silence is strength under command. It is the mark of self-trust. The man who knows his direction does not shout it from the rooftops. He walks it. His footsteps are his testimony. The noise of the crowd neither adds to nor subtracts from his certainty. I have observed men whose ideas were great, whose ambitions were noble, whose energy was vast, yet they achieved nothing. Why? Because they scattered their power through words. Each conversation about their purpose diluted it. Each compliment they received became a substitute for effort. They built castles of speech instead of structures of stone. The wise man treats his purpose as sacred. He feeds it with thought, waters it with persistence, and guards it from premature exposure. He does not throw it before the careless or the curious. He reveals it only when its fruits are ready to feed others. To speak too soon is to invite theft, not partnership. Praise is borrowed sunlight. It warms for a moment but cannot sustain growth. The light of self-respect, earned through silent effort, endures. The man who delays praise until completion multiplies his satisfaction, for he receives it twice, once from within, once from without. Every act of boasting is a small betrayal of faith. It tells the subconscious, I have arrived, when in truth the journey has not begun. Guard yourself against this illusion. Hold your vision inward until it has matured into form. Speak of your results when they exist, not before. If you must talk, talk to yourself. Replace idle speech with inner command. Say quietly, I will act today. I will build today. I will work while others talk. Let your words become orders to your subconscious, not entertainment for your friends. Every time you do this, you strengthen your inner authority. You may be tempted to share your plans to feel supported, but support gained through sympathy is a crutch, not a ladder. The only help you need is the silent partnership of faith. Learn to draw encouragement from your own persistence. The man who depends on others to believe in him will never believe in himself. To master silence, practice this discipline for 30 days. Speak of your goals to no one. Let your progress be invisible. Let your success appear as surprise, not expectation. During this time, replace talk with work. Each hour of silence will build energy. Each act of completion will feed confidence. You will discover that your results grow faster when your words grow fewer. People will notice a change in you. They will sense a quiet intensity, a reserved power. They will speak more carefully in your presence, for they will feel that you are a man of direction. You will not need to say you are disciplined. They will know it. You will not need to announce progress. They will see it. The man who holds his purpose within becomes magnetic. Others respect what they cannot fully read. They may not understand your silence, but they will be drawn to it. For silence suggests depth, and depth commands reverence. A talkative man reveals himself too soon. A silent man allows curiosity to serve him. Let this be your affirmation. I trade praise for progress. I do not speak to be admired, but to act with precision. I build in silence and let my works declare my worth. Each time I resist the urge to boast, I preserve the fire of my purpose. Repeat it each morning until the need for approval loses its hold. The hunger for validation will be replaced by hunger for victory. When that happens, you will know freedom. He who speaks for validation will never build for vindication. Silence guards fire. Talk extinguishes it. Speak less, act more. Let the world discover you not because you announced yourself, but because your results made silence impossible. The second sign, you seek counsel from the unqualified. There are few poisons more subtle than the opinions of those who have never built anything of value. Yet most men drink this poison daily. They speak of their dreams to the faithless, seeking wisdom from those who have none, mistaking noise for knowledge. And the result is always the same. Their conviction weakens, their fire cools, and their plan, once alive with promise, becomes a corpse buried under borrowed doubt. You must learn this early. Advice is only as valuable as the life that gives it. No man can guide you beyond the point he has reached himself. The unqualified advisor speaks not from understanding, but from fear disguised as caution. He projects his failures onto your future. His words are not direction, they are confession. Every warning he gives reveals what he dared not attempt. The mind is a vessel. Whatever enters it shapes the pattern of its thinking. When you listen to one who has not achieved, you tune your mind to the frequency of his limitation. You begin to see through his eyes, to measure through